Hi, this is NorCaffeine and welcome to some more Banished. Well, it's been a while since I've played Banished actually. And since that time, the Labor update and the 1.0.3 update were released, which addressed another slew of problems and optimization fixes, which basically made people less stupid, so to speak, or the AI may finally be a bit more smart. I don't know. Well, let's start. Oh, I have actually reduced the size here of my UI. But for the sake of maybe you want to see anything, I will... how is this? Up to 150? No. Apply. Or maybe it's this one. Apply. No, that's the wrong one. Oh god, 99. Oh shit, that's too big. Apply. Okay. Yeah, that's gotta be good enough. It feels right. Well, as I was trying to say, one of my main problems with this game was the illogical movement of the already assigned laborers, making, for example, my farmers running off to do jobs on the other side of the map, and when spring came, they wouldn't be able to make it back to their fields, so they wouldn't even grow any food. And if we look on our graph here, that was something I believe happened the last episode, or actually happened a few years in the past as well. I think this is a period where I initiated some distant work, and my farmers just, oh, I'm going to work over there, and they went, and they didn't make it back in time, so so half of the farming maybe skipped growing anything. And you can see some of these fields aren't even mature. The pumpkins over there, they're very small for pumpkins, if you know what I mean. So this field haven't really been cultivated as efficiently as it should have been, which is, yeah, you can see this is 50% and this was only 3, yeah, or you take something equivalent, I don't know. But we will let it be another season here, and we'll see, actually, if this even works out any better. If this patch actually have done any... will be noticeable in praxis, or practice, sorry. There's a saying in Norwegian, in praxis, I praxis, which translates to like in practice, which is kind of logical. In the making, yeah, I'm not even going to try to comprehend, but also in the patch they introduced this sort, or he, the creator, made his split system work more even, so I think it actually seeks out which pasture is not full. It will find the one that needs the most well, livestock, that's the name of it. And so I just split the herd over here, and they will be sent over here. So it actually works now, which is a welcoming change. I think it was frustrating to try. Like, if I split the herd over here, they will all fill up in here, and if I split them, they wouldn't, like a 50-50 go back again or something. I have no clue how the logic of the game was in that matter. But it seems to be fixed out now, or fixed up, which is very nice. So, and that's there's the one thing I like most about games. It's not necessarily the game, don't get me wrong, I love the games, but what's really, really great is the updates. It's just so goddamn yeah, it's euphorical when you like read there's an update for something and you think, yes! The game is getting better. And that's something with the indie games here and early access games, which just they pump out new updates all along. And this is not early access, it's released, but with Steam, the developers, especially small timers, have an easy platform to release their updates to the masses. While the big publishers, they just make their own platform or anything, so you just download from theirs. So Steam is a really nice tool for, or medium so to speak, for small timers, especially the creator of this game. I think have earned a lot on having Steam as a publisher so to speak for his game. But let us get back into the game. I've actually not really been noticing shit from the last autumn up until now. But I really don't think I have any jobs going on requiring my farmers to go all the way around. So we will see if the graph over here. But as you can see, I think it will still drop down to the same level, but this year's harvest must be better than last year. Everything seems to be working out very nice. These fields are kind of bad, but I have no idea what to blame actually. If there's a lot of herdsmen living up here, there may be a solution, or not a solution, but an explanation that the farmers live quite far away or something. But it will be interesting to see, no matter what. So the goal of this is, let's see, the status is supposed to be like that. If I no, that reduces. That's really strange logic. Is to reach a rather high population. Now back not long ago, we reached 400. As you can see, the citizens are now up at 480. But we have only 334 adults. But it dropped again, and it raised again. But as you can see, the population is rising steadily. So if you can just keep that going, it would be very nice. Also, I would love to check out how many families, homes, how are I scaling this out? So actually there is room for a few more houses. Now I think the housing should be increased up here, and as I also have housing positioned. Yeah, it's basically, if I see I have say 330 adults, I will then build 160 homes, or 65 homes I think will be the right number. So I'm really close to having my ideal thing here, but then again it's not 50-50 women men, or female and male, so there's maybe a majority of males in the population, or females, so it necessarily won't be a pair of grown-ups moving into these houses. We can check. And it seems like there's actually a family in every single house up here. Someone actually had a baby. Othornton. Aveling and Rian. So it actually seems to work out pretty well, which is very cool. So I will just try to keep up my sort of logic upon the topic. And I think I will be a bit gung-ho and increase the amount of clothing produced here. Especially wool, just to get some extra currency while I'm trading, because I have a lot of clothing, but if I can just make excessive wool clothing, I can sell it as well. Also, I may just want to put 500 units of wool inside of my dock here, because I can. If I check my inventory, I have 435, okay. But really it won't be a problem. As you can see, this is extremely it's 10 pasture hairs, each capable of holding 25 sheep except this one. But we can just pretend. It won't really be noticed. So when these guys fill up with 25 sheep each, and 23 of course, they will be producing so much wool you haven't seen the likes of it. So way overkill, but something has to be my currency in this game. And firewood won't cut it, or firewood cut. Har har. So, but I want to be less reliant on firewood, because in the early games, especially in this game, you could see how much problem that was. And I've had it in every single game I played myself, off camera here. The firewood is extremely valuable because people will freeze to death if they don't have it, and if you trade it all away, you will just put yourself in a corner, which is not good. So we will try to find another currency. Wool is a great one because it's worth 1 more per unit, and you will create an excessive with all those sheep there. And wool Yeah, it isn't like you have to cut wood and then put it in the stockpile and then cut it. It is just shaved off the sheep directly, which I find very nice. So let us see here. We have no squash, so I will actually buy myself some squash. How was this again? 625. Yeah, that's the right one. And we will buy ourselves a seed. Bam! We'll just let him stick around. Now, I believe the last time we actually had smallpox or measles or something, which meant we lost a lot of people. Or a few, can't really remember. But I have hospitals, 2 of them, which will and have staved off the brunt of the sickness. I will actually commence the building of that again. So yeah, and as we can see, the yield, there's still some problems over here. I'm not really sure how this is supposed to be averted. Maybe if I build more housing here so the farmers can actually live closer to the fields. But still, it's just something that just will be, I don't know. But we can also go back to our good old town hall here just to check the graph. And at peak we almost reached 32,000 units of food, which is extreme. That's really good. And that's a problem sometimes. You gain so much food, and you may think, what the hell, why are you nagging about that? There can never be too much food in Banished. Well, as you can see, these are just stacked to the brim with food. There's so much food here. What are we ever going to do with all this food? Well, I don't know. They won't trade for shit, and people are there's few merchants that actually want food, or not necessarily too few. Oh, somebody actually died. They died of something else than age. But we can see from this merchant coming down the river here if he or she, or did they just leave? Yeah, they just leave. Oh shit. Oh well, we are putting in some wool and we restocked on our firewood here, which is nice. But we can see how much food actually is worth. It's only beef and venison, which is extremely valuable to trade. They will trade for 3 value each, while wheat, pumpkins, beans, all that kind of stuff won't really trade for anything. Which reminds me, I should rotate my crops here just to be certain. Because I really don't want to get any plague. I believe I'm just over dramatizing this, because you really have to go a long time without rotating your crops to get a crop illness, so to speak, a pestilence ridding your crops. I think they have to be around about 10 years, which really I haven't done. Actually, I will be producing a bit more squash, because we just bought that. So, I've never actually had that problem. I've seen it before, someone else had it, and well, if you can't rotate your crops, you shouldn't be growing food. That's farming 101, I guess. And it won't rid, and that's something we have to, or something farmers have known for a long time, that crop rotation is important to keep the nutritional value of the soil. Because say if you grow beans in this field for, I don't know, 100 years, it will just, there's some nutritional minerals that will be left, because, well, beans don't need them, or potatoes or whatever, but they will take the same nutrient, so to speak, every time. And with every year, the nutritional value of the certain bean will lower and lower and lower, because the earth can't recuperate. It can't really amass the amount of, I don't know, mineral, because it's exhausted every time. It's like mining iron. It will go out, but over the millennia, it will slowly make itself fill up again. I don't know. And that's why people fertilize their fields with shit. Because in the cow's poop there are minerals, and I think we call it manure in a more civilized language. And the manure contains minerals which the soil needs to like revitalize itself, and that will make things grow again more rapidly because they have the access to more nutrients. Now, I'm not going to say that you should just go out there and start drinking or eating any form of excrement from any kind of animal, because it's lethal. But that will be filtered out in the earth, the lethal bacteria, and the nutrients will go back into plant form, which we will eat, and then the cycle continues. And if you rotate your crops, you will be certain that the same nutrient or mineral won't be exhausted every time. Then again, I could be talking complete rubbish, but I really hope I don't. And it's maybe not relevant to this game at all, but what else is there to talk about? I should really increase my clothing limit now that I understand why it's haven't really been increasing. But with all that Yiddish, let's see, we are slowly closing to the 500 barrier here, and I actually think I will be just taking a quick run away, and I'll come right back. Okay, I'm back again. Just had to check the time and just get a cup of water and all that kind of stuff to keep myself alive. So, yeah, as I said earlier, be wary of the nutrient value of your food. And I'm saying this for the game, keep rotating your crops, and in real life. Because it's something if you think about it, the reason why people are getting more obese and fat is because we eat more. And why do we eat more? Well, one argument is that, oh, food is so good, and fast food especially, they taste good because there's a lot of fat in it. That basically is it. There's no nutritional value, and the body is still hungry because, well, we need the nutrients. And just stuffing yourself with lard and fat and all that greasy stuff fast food gives isn't really going to cut it. So you put on weight while you eat cheeseburger after cheeseburger and fries after fries, and they do contain nutrients like normal food, but it's not enough, so you'll have to eat more. While excuse my language here, good and healthy breakfast or any healthy food, which people always they say, eat healthily, eat healthy breakfast, eat nutrient food. Well, what the hell does that mean? Well, eat something which isn't junk. You have to eat vegetables and things that you know grow. Where it grows. I don't know. Well, you say just organic food again. Then again, they promise that it's grown in a manner that contain, or what's it called? Proclaims or really guarantees, that's the word, that there is nutrients in it. The organic culture isn't that it's hippie or communist or environmentalist or whatever. It's just to guarantee that you actually eat food which isn't deprived of its nutrient value. And artificial fertilizer and all that kind of stuff, gene modification, it may keep you fed, but you lose the nutrients, and if you keep on doing that, we will just starve, basically. This guy didn't really have anything of value, which is quite depressing. I'll just send him on his merry way, or actually, we can buy his tools, which means I will have to sacrifice 200 units of wool, but I really don't give a crap. Wool for tools. So yeah, if you find yourself eating a lot of junk food, don't do it. I really don't like junk food. And then again, I may not eat healthily all the time, but I steer away from it and I try to eat what I believe contains nutriential value, and I do feel it on my body if I'm really hungry or not depressed, but you know, you feel you are out of the game, you feel weak, and that's because you haven't gotten the nutrients your body and cells need. If that's just pure belief and scientifically bullshit, or it's bullshit because it is not scientifical, then excuse my language, or excuse me for filling you with bullshit, but I believe that's it, and a lot of other people I think believe it as well. That's my view on it, and yeah. So the lesson to learn here, kids, is to swap out what you grow here. Your people, they will need different kind of food, and I actually think that's a mechanic which may... I'm not sure if that's coded into the game. I have never read it anywhere, but maybe it will be soon or something. That the difference or the food variety will affect the average health and also the happiness of your citizens. So just feeding your people cabbage all the time, it will be really dull. It will be torture. And it would be bad for your health, because you, then again, as the same thing that will happen with the cabbage growing in the same patch of dirt every 100 years, it will be deprived of nutrients, and your body, the poor people of Caffeineville here, will be eating cabbages, and it will just gain the same nutrient the cabbage provides every single time, and they will become malnourished, and they will die. So, yeah. So, this episode I think was a lot about farming and just letting time slide away to see if we gain some more population. And I believe we did. Not a whole lot. We actually will reach 500 citizens. There we go! 500! Which is very cool. It will maybe drop down, I'm not sure. So, just before we end this episode off, I will just make sure that all these positions are maxed out, and I will be saying thank you for watching. The state of the realm is looking very nice indeed, and please comment if there's something you want to comment on, or my ramblings, and subscribe if you want to see more of this or anything else I do on my channel here, and I will be seeing you the next time. Goodbye.